Well, hello there. It's Wednesday, hump day. It's a holiday hump day. The 29th of December. Just wanted to kind of make one of those silo videos that I told you about when we were going to, when I last did the fitness video on Friday. Wasn't able to get anything done on Monday, but here I am on Wednesday at least. So silo videos where I kind of dig deeper into a part of what I was talking about. One of the recurring themes you'll hear from me when it comes to working with, you know, exercise in general is that, if you're wanting to get explosiveness, one of the things I like to say, okay, you need a little bit of equipment. You don't necessarily have to have equipment. You can use body weight if you have nothing, but it's better if you have something. A couple things that I like to utilize in my training: dumbbells are big. Um, a ball, an exercise ball, is very good, and I'll explain why in a minute. And what I'd like to do sometime in 2022 is graduate also to a weighted vest, and I'll explain that in a second. These are all things that you can use to increase your explosiveness, and we'll talk about that more across the different silos. That you're going to see that that's a mainstay, quite frankly. Today, however, I'm going to talk about, very specifically, I'm going to talk about core training. Core training is not a once a week thing. It should be probably 4 times a week. And it should be in addition to upper body or lower body, push or pull, depending on how you want to do the strength training. But when you do your core, it'll be a little bit different. Core exercises, you can do things like planks and sit-ups and you can do all kinds of stuff. Lunges, even to a degree, squat thrusts. But what you'll see though with your core is that that's going to be a limiting factor on you. And it's a good place to start, okay? But when you do these exercises instead of doing them from a floor, you do them from a ball, from sitting or laying across a ball, an exercise ball. You add either, you're a smaller person, you use 3 or 5 pound dumbbells. You can use up to 40s and 50s. Put them on your chest. So when you're laying across your ball, okay, and you're going to come up. You're not just going to come up hard. You're going to come up. You're going to quick burst, but you're going to just do basically a consistent speed, and then you're going to continue to work the core on the way back. So, for example, you want to feel, because there's six muscles in the main part of your belly. That's where 6-pack comes from. 2, 2, 2. So if you're all the way back, you're working the top as you start to come up. And as you come up, the musculature works down towards the bottom. So it's boom, boom, boom. Okay? So you don't want to just go on momentum, because then you're going to short the bottom too. Okay? And you don't just want to flop up and down. When you go up, then you also want to contract them on the way back. Again, we talked about having negative portion of an exercise being as intense as the positive part of the exercise, if at all possible, but certainly not just flop backwards. That's a lost opportunity. So you come off, you're laying in a flat position, you come up, okay, and what you're doing is you're pulling your muscle in towards your spine. and you're doing it from the top to the bottom in that order. And then on the way back, you're reversing that from the bottom to the top. But you're pulling it back in. And so when you come back, you come up, and then you come back and you do it slowly, but you keep the contraction. Your contraction goes from moment one to moment last, no matter how many sets that you are doing, sets and reps you are doing. Now, start there. Okay, you're doing a crunch. Okay, this just shows you how you modify things. Okay, then you start doing it with a dumbbell. Okay, take a couple dumbbells, put them together, put them on your chest, mid-chest. Don't put them up here where it can get up into your throat, but put them high up. Don't put them here. Put them here. Okay? And allow that weight to work on what you're doing. So that increases what you're doing. Okay? Being on the ball requires that you're working all your muscles all the time as it is in your gut, because you have to maintain balance. Your feet are on the floor, but you're laying across the ball. So you're working a lot of your muscles a lot of the time, but you're really working these mid-six. Okay? You get to where you got a couple of 40s on you. You got 80, 100 pounds on your chest, and you start doing these. You may not think it's very hard, but when you do it the way I just described, where you go the positive and you go back the negative, and it's full contraction 100% of the time. Oh, you're going to be feeling it. And when you be feeling it, you be getting work done. That's how it's done. Now, we talked about how core strength, core tone, one-to-one causal relationship with cognitive ability. That helps everybody. Neurotypical, not neurotypical. Everybody benefits from a faster processing speed. Think like you're a computer. Faster processing speed and better recall of information, quicker to react, quicker to see things, make decisions. Everything else is rapid fire. Because you're toned. You tone here, you tone here. It helps. You keep your breathing in rhythm. Okay? So the speed of the exercise dictates the rhythm of the breathing as well. And that works really, really well. Now, that's for the inline 6. Okay? On the side, you have the obliques. Okay? And so you can do things rather differently with that. So you want to be spotted, but what you can do is you can do exercises that will show rotation. And when you're using those weights, that's easy too. So I actually sometimes will do those from a standing position. It's a little less awkward. But you can do it on the ball too. Let's go with the ball first. So then you simply, as you're coming up, halfway up the exercise, you're doing a traditional crunch, and then you're going to close and close. So you're really going halfway, then twisting. You don't twist from the top, from the flat. You go up halfway, fold it, back to the middle, back, up halfway, fold it, back to the middle, back. Full contraction all the time. But if you don't like to work with a ball, or you don't have one, you can take hand weights, and you can literally reach across your body with them. Keep your arms perpendicular, parallel to the ground. That means flat. So you take them flat and you reach across, and just like anything, you hold the contraction. So you don't just reach across and then move. It's not jazzercise, guys. You want to hold the contraction. So you're going to go all the way, reach as far as you can. Your feet stay on the ground. Do not move. Full rotation. And you're going to hold for a few seconds. and then you're going to keep it nice and slow, and then you're going to take it the other direction, and you're going to hold for 3 or 4 seconds. You're going to do as many reps as you can, and start adding sets to them. This is something that really, really helps. Now, when you get to the point that you're doing 2 or 3 sets, here's an interesting way of doing it. When you're standing up and you've got these dumbbells, you do a set flat. You do a set up. So now you're working the obliques, but you're working a different region of them. So you go up and hold. So you're going up diagonally, and then you diagonally hold. Right? And you can even do them when you're in a like a prone position. You're like this. Your upper body, you're almost like an L, an upside down L, right? And then you reach down, so you don't hurt your back. But these are things that will help the back, like the back of your ribs, and the obliques, the frontal obliques, upper, lower, the front, the back. You want to isolate these things. When you reach out in front of you, you work the front more, don't you? Okay? You reach out sideways. It's really the traditional part of the oblique that you're working. So when you're doing 3 sets, for example, you want to do an upper, a side, and a down. Each side. And when you get to the full compression, you hold that sucker for 3 or 4 seconds. You'll find that all these guys jamming weights up and stuff, they're not getting the answers. Do you ever notice how many guys in the weight room don't have very much definition in their bellies? They got pot bellies because they don't do this stuff. You also notice, like I said the last time, a lot of these guys are plateauing. They're not getting the answers that they want. They're not getting the gains that they want. It's because they're using momentum strategies. The lack of one. They're just they get the thing up and, oh look, I'm impressive. I've got 250 pounds up, or 300 or 400 or whatever it is. When they back that weight very well down and they used full compression technique, they could do a lot less weight and a lot more work. And all your muscles will know is that they can't get efficient. They're in panic mode 100% of the time. Or as they like to say in the Spanish lingo, 24/7. So your muscles cannot adjust to what you're doing when there's no rest, when there's no use of momentum, there's no cheating in what you're doing. So whatever you're doing, you utilize, first you utilize no weights, you just use body weight. Then you start to move up to small dumbbells, then you get larger dumbbells. Okay? That's the preferred way. Okay? Now I'll give you a little bonus on this one. I mentioned weighted vests. You can get weighted vests that are anywhere from 20 to 50, even closer to 100 pounds. You got your weighted vests where you can put stuff in them and increase the weight. The military does a little bit of this. So when you're doing your sprint work, so this isn't about core anymore. You're doing your sprint work. You wear a weighted vest. You put 20 pounds on that sucker, and then you go run some sprints. You do that for a few weeks. You take that thing off, you're flying. Your body gets used to that weight and used to having to do that work. So when you're doing interval work, you go to a track. That's the best place to do it. You're doing 100-yard dashes or even 40s. You can do 40s, you can do 50s, you can do hundreds yards or meters. It's meters these days. And what you do is you do your sprint. You turn right back around You walk slow, fairly slowly back, and then you sprint again. You just do a series of these. That's where you start. Then you start being able to get a little bit more, and you go, okay, now I can go up to 200s with a sprint. This is when you're not running very much. You go up and you start with a 200 sprint. So you do 100, walk back, 200, walk back, that kind of thing. Could take you years to get up to where you're doing a 400, where you're doing a 400 meter dash, 800 meter dash. That's a rather manly race. 400s and 800s are torture when you're going full gun. You do 100s and 200s, it's plenty good enough to be a very good athlete. You do that with that weight on you, it's going to work very, very well. Anything where you're working on with agility, you're going to work with a vest, and it's going to help you to be able to move quickly, especially when they're large motor movements that are upper body oriented. So when you're working on agility, you're working on quickness. Having that weighted vest on is going to be very, very beneficial, because then when you pull that thing off, because we're worried about that first quick twitch, we're worried about that first move, we're worried about speed and power that happens right from the beginning. It's okay. That's what it is. So we'll get more into that later, but that's kind of today's bonus. So today was really about just to kind of put the parentheses on this sucker, or put the punctuation on this sucker, is how to do that core workout. Don't just do sit-ups, do crunches. Okay? And do them the right way. Get up off the ball sometimes. When you want to work the obliques, you can do it with the weights, just to keep it different. If you're going to do them on the ball, you hold the weights right here. Okay? Push yourself. Going to go up, and then you're going to do these. And you hold the compression. You stay up there for a minute. Like 3 or 4 seconds. And then move down. You're just doing, you're not fooling anybody. You're not helping yourself. Full 100% contraction, life of the exercise, is going to activate you in a way you don't even understand yet. And then in between training sessions, your muscles will remain furnaces. They will burn fat. Because muscle is going to weigh more than fat, so you might gain weight, but you're going to have better muscle mass that's going to burn calories at a higher rate at rest. And that's how weight management really should be done. We'll talk about food a different time. We'll talk about some other things, but I want you to take all of that I've said today and put it to good use. And to me, that's where you start. Start at the core, work out from there. We'll talk about arms and shoulders and legs and all that stuff. You'll hear some recurring themes with that stuff, like the weights and the weighted vests and stuff like that. What you're not going to hear about is, how many plates did you put on there, dude? Because that's meathead stuff. Okay? It just is. For the average athlete. If you're a guy like The Rock, yeah, you're throwing up serious plates because you worked to get there. But where do you think he started? The average athlete. Let's start here. All right. Do my best to get in here on Friday, on New Year's Eve, as we head into 2022. Have a happy hump day. I will holler at you later. Last video, I let you off easy. I did not say my obligatory little screed at the end, but I will do so today because I do not want anyone to forget it. So please like, comment, subscribe, hit the ringy-dingy, say all, and then spread this video far and wide. Sharing is caring, and I need all the caring that I can get. And it's the Christmas season. So please do. Send this as far and as wide as you possibly can. There are plenty of people that can use it. Walk around, you'll probably see the evidence of that. I appreciate the help. Let's build a community. Happy Hump Day. Peace out, me homies. See ya.